Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser here today with junior defensive back slash linebacker Brendon Harris. We'll talk some about his positional fit, but most importantly, state champion Brendon Harris from the Homer Pelicans. The Pelicans winning that Class 1A state championship just over a week ago. And I know it's been a lot of fun and celebration up there because it had been quite a while since the Pels brought one back. Brendon, what is the emotion and excitement been like, and how have those celebrations been going?
And we've been celebrating a lot, though, but we worked for it, so we was expecting it, though. The coaches and the players put the work in for it. So when we really got it, we was excited and fun. We had fun, but now it's time to get back to work, though. Just train for next season, start the off season when we get back from Christmas break.
Homer hadn't been to a state championship game since before I was alive, so certainly before you were alive, and they hadn't won one since 1939. FDR was president. I looked up like the prices of milk and all those things that you look at when it's been a long time since something happened. What does that mean to you guys to have accomplished something for this team and the school and the community that hadn't been done in so long? How special has that been?
It let us know that we really was good and we made history. So it's important to us to bring back something to our town that we really haven't had in a while. So it was important to us because we know that we were legends. So we can go around saying that we broke the streak. So it's really important because we brought it back to the town. We know that we've been on and the town been on.
How much have y'all heard from some of the older folks, whether it be players of generations past or just, older alumni or whoever around town, whether they still live there, maybe people coming back or calling back? Just has that messaging been like from some of the folks before y'all?
Since the start of the season, man, they've been with us since the start of the season. Especially, it turned up in the playoffs. They was with us. I still hear from people this day that how much they thank us and how much it was important to them as much as it was to us. They've been with us along the ride, I can say.
When did you realize that it would be that meaningful to that many people? Did it, I guess, is it something you realized just always, or was there a moment where you heard from someone or kind of saw a crowd or anything where it clicked, okay, this is bigger than even this team right now. This means so much to so many people.
The semifinal game, the Homer versus Hango, once I looked in the crowd and saw all the people, I was like, that's amazing, man, because I never played in a more crowded game or most capacity game. So I looked up and it amazed me. Then I really seen that the town really wanted it as much as we did.
When did you realize from a talent and potential of this team and this group of guys, I mean, so many of y'all that have played together for years, even prior to high school, when did it kind of click that y'all had that potential to be that special group? Was it some point in high school? Was it this year? Was it even growing up? Was it something you guys were talking about?
I say we've been on since Pee Wee. We had the same people since Pee Wee. We've been playing with each other. We've been had the chemistry, but when it clicked was this summer with the summer on summer. Like we went to compete against 4A, 5A schools. We were only getting beat by like a touchdown. So we knew that it was gonna be special this season. We already knew going into the season that we had the talent.
What has Coach Casey brought back to the program, a place where he was obviously a star not too long ago, and then went off to Louisiana Tech and now has been back for a couple years and really building this program again to a place it hadn't been in so long. How would you describe what it's like to play for him and just the way he leads the program and has helped develop y'all into being now state champions?
And it's good because, it's good to learn from a college football player, man. He do a lot for us. I can't even say all the stuff he do for us, man, because it's like he care about us like we're his children. So it's like he teach us stuff that we never even knew. So like for to get coached with like I can't even explain it, man. It's like he do so much and like put so much back into the team. Like I can't even explain it, man. To get even coached by college players, it's amazing, man. He's the best coach I ever been coached by all my life. And it's a blessing to even get coached by him, man. I give him all my respect.
You mentioned how big that semifinal moment felt and just seeing the crowd and the atmosphere. When y'all then a week later walk into the Superdome in New Orleans, I mean, you had a chance to go through a walkthrough and then the next day, though, going in for a game and putting on the pads and all that. What was was that trip like, and the moment of walking in and realizing that you were playing for a state championship on the same field that the Saints play on Sundays, and a lot of great college games have happened on Saturdays, and some great state championship games through the years, and now y'all are going to have a chance to do that?
Like the week before we left, we was going to Arkansas Junction City to practice in an indoor facility. So we had already got used to it, but once we stepped on the field, it was like amazing. But then we had to dive in and realize that we was trying to get with that ring, so we really didn't focus too much on it. We just wanted to focus on winning and bringing it back home.
You had one of the first really big plays to help kind of spark some things where you guys had the ball first, have an interception, and suddenly Logansport's making that drive, and they're in the red zone, and you guys are backed up a little bit. Take me through that series where they're suddenly at a first and goal or first and 10 inside the 15 and trying to push to strike first, and then the play that you see to swipe that fourth down interception and head back out toward midfield, and how big that was from a momentum and confidence and energy and all those things early on.
I just knew I had to make a play. And I look at film a lot, so I already knew what was coming. Once the back came out the backfield, I knew that either he was getting the ball. So I knew he was getting the ball. So I just went with it and went with my instincts. And when I got it, I knew I had to make a play. So that's what I wanted to do for my team. I knew I had to step up and get that momentum going.
And that kind of set a trend, too, where you guys end up taking 6 picks during the course of that game, and it started to feel like everyone in the secondary was grabbing one. How good did, particularly early on in that game as things were rolling and y'all were getting off to that dominant start, how good did things feel for y'all as a defense and as a secondary, and how much fun were y'all having, swiping the ball right back and getting it back to the offense?
There wasn't nothing new. Like, we've been doing it all year, though. I know that we had the talent in the secondary, so I wasn't really worried about no big plays or nothing. I knew that my corners and my safety was going to make the play. So it wasn't no pressure on them or me. So I just knew that we had the talent. So I knew going into the game that it wasn't no pressure. And once I got that pick, I knew that it was going to be a ball game. We were finna have fun all night.
When the momentum starts to shift a little bit in the second half and Logansport's trying to mount that comeback, as they did against Haynesville a few years back and really stun that Haynesville team just a few years ago, was there a moment where you guys either get a little nervous or you guys have to kind of come together and have a conversation and resettle and say, okay, look, this stops now? What was that stretch like where those Tigers start coming back on y'all, and what were y'all able to do to finally get it back right and close it out?
I don't know if it was the screen pass touchdown or the long pass touchdown, but we all came to each other and it was like, hey, we got to step our game up. The game ain't over till it hit 0-0-0. And that's what Coach had been saying, that we had to play. I can admit that the defense did start to slip, so we had to step up, and that's what we did.
Y'all ultimately grabbed that final interception and able to run the clock out. What are the emotions like as you see the clock hitting 0 and you have the hometown community that's made that long trip down behind y'all and they're cheering? Just describe the energy and emotion of that moment.
I couldn't even believe it, man. I couldn't. Once I saw the trophy, I was shocked because it's something I never saw in my life. And I've been some big athletes in like Haynesville, been having it, so I've been on it. But like it's just I couldn't believe it. Like I thought I can't even explain, man. I'm just happy we brought it back.
You talked about it's already getting to be time to get back to work. We're just a week and a half removed from that huge state championship game, and you're already thinking about what's next. Take me through some of your work the last couple years, your development, some of the things you've been happiest with in terms of just your growth as a player, and how different of a player you feel like you are now, midway through your junior year, finishing up the junior season, versus where you were when you came into high school.
I knew that I had to put in the work. If I wanted to go where I wanted to be, I had to put in the work. And it started from my seniors, my freshman year. They got me to where I was. Like, I competed with them every day. Star tournaments, like, it was a lot of them. Like, they made me the person I am. And I knew that summer that I was going to have to hit the weights hard, hit the field hard every day. And I still do it to this day. That if I want to get to where I want to be, I have to work every day, nonstop. Because I know it's other people out there working. And if I want to be great like other people, I have to work every day.
Star was a really great player for y'all just a few years ago, and he got overlooked a little bit. But
yes, sir.
Take me through being a young player and seeing some of the things that he was able to do and what that meant to have leaders like him ahead of you. You mentioned they kind of set that message that you had to keep working for anything that you were going to get. To see a player like that as a young guy for you, what was that like?
It showed me. It showed me that if I saw him work a lot, and I saw him really like that dude never missed a practice, and none of them seen me miss a practice. So I saw like he set the tone for me, and he got me like the competitiveness that was on that team that year. It always just hit me to the day that they started me from where I am today.
You have, even from an underclassman, I was watching a lot of your film as a sophomore, and that's kind of when we first started talking. You've had a lot of the physical tools that you see and immediately stand out. But when you talk about just that interception play, even as an example, and kind of seeing what you would see on film, reading it, breaking on it, and sending it back the other way, how much have you seen that part of your game develop, whether the coverage side specifically or just your film study and your understanding of the game and able to anticipate some things?
From my sophomore year to this year, like my hip was so bad my sophomore year, but that last time I worked on it a lot. So I can say that I have improved my hips and my breaks and all that film study. So and I look at a lot of YouTube teach tapes and stuff, so that really helped me a lot too.
You started to hear from a few colleges too, some folks that wanted to get you on campus even during this season, but you had some bigger things in mind for your team. Take me through what some of that early communication has been like from the colleges, how much that's meant to see some interest early on, and now what you're hoping to do as you continue to build those relationships and moving into this offseason.
It's a blessing, man. I won't be able to do it without the man above. So I just need to stay humble and continue to work for it. And I know that it'll all come. But I think to all the coaches that have been showing interest. But now that I got it, now that I know that it's going right, I had to stay on that road and keep working because I know it'll eventually come to where I want to be.
Do you have specific areas of your game that you have in mind for this spring and this summer that you're hoping to kind of build on? Are there high priority areas for you that you're hoping to see the biggest strides before senior year?
My hips and my speed. I want to get my hips and my speed and my physical. If I can be more work on getting more physical. I like for that too, but mostly my hips and my speed.
Do you see yourself, and I guess from some of the early conversations with college coaches, what have they potentially said? Do you see yourself as a safety at the next level, or potentially moving into a more full-time linebacker role as you develop physically? What's kind of the outlook or hope there for you?
Can't say I like both, but I can see myself as a hybrid safety, like playing in the box and like know how to cover at the same time.
Good deal, man. Well, Brendon, I appreciate you certainly, and looking forward to seeing you out on the 7-on-7 circuit some more this spring. And congratulations to you guys on that state championship. It was huge.
Thank you, man. Thank you for bringing me out today.
Absolutely. Again, that's Brendon Harris. He's in the middle of his junior year at Homer High. The Pelicans just won that Class 1A state championship. He's getting ready to participate in 7-on-7 with the Bootleggers North Louisiana team. And then I know the Pels have some big plans for his senior season too, because a lot of y'all are back.
Yes, sir. Same team.
Yes,
We
sir.
losing a lot of seniors, but I'm pretty sure that we can have some young men step up.
Yeah, no doubt. And for Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser. Thanks.